when is the best time for real estate agents to get involved in the bankruptcy process? All right. Because clients will call me. All right. Actually, let me go back one. Sorry, guys. Let's kind of set the stage for these questions. And this is really probably very typical of what you guys might see. A client or potential client calls you. They say, I have a notice of default, or notice of sale, or I have liens on my property. The client wants to buy, or you have a client who wants to sell, or you even have a client who wants to buy with some of these issues. What are the issues that you guys are going to be up against or have to address and talk about? All right, so this is really, the majority of the top 10 arises out of this factual scenario. And the types of questions that I think are probably going to be asked of you. I'm going to try to address some of those now. Okay, so the first question is, when's the best time for a real estate agent to get involved? If I have a client who I know that they are going to sell, all right, and the game plan is for them to file, get a discharge, and ultimately sell, I always say, you know what, do you have a real estate agent? Let's say yes or no. If it's no, I said, looks like I can make some referrals to you. So you got to get someone involved now, because eventually things are going to happen. You need to have an agent walking with you through that process. All right. Because the typical goals of a client, you guys probably know, is that they want to stay in their home as long as possible after the bankruptcy. They can stay there for a year or two without making a mortgage payment. That's a good thing for them. That's what they want. But they also want a predictable departure. That they just don't want to have to leave on a Friday afternoon because the sheriff's saying get out. They want to have a closing date and an escrow period of time where it's just an easy transition. So to make that happen, this is what I tell clients. Your far left is when you buy the home. And the stars represent the times in which I think a real estate agent needs to get involved. If you know you're going to be filing bankruptcy, but you don't have a notice of sale, you don't have a notice of default, I still tell clients, get an agent involved because they can help you understand that somewhat complicated process of NODs, NOSs, and kind of what they mean. The next star is if you do have a notice of default, you got to get an agent involved in that process because they have the ability to talk with the lender and the various folks that they need to talk to kind of control that whole process. Now, the third star is, remember, once you file bankruptcy, the automatic stay comes in immediately. It's a good thing. But you still need to have an agent involved because they can at least walk through and counsel and make sure that the client's being taken care of. Yet, that's a problem area. Because remember, once the bankruptcy is over, the automatic stay is removed. And if you had a notice of sale, and we filed bankruptcy a couple days before the sale date, guess what? Once that notice of sale, once the bankruptcy is over, and the automatic stay is lifted, guess who's going to try to foreclose that home as soon as possible? The bank. Exactly. So sometimes clients say, well, I'll talk to an agent after my bankruptcy is over. I'm like, well, no, you don't. It's the wrong time to do it. Because what you really got to do is right before the bankruptcy is actually over, I would encourage you to hire an agent to get the property on MLS and start kind of actively marketing it so you can at least tell the lender, hey, we're trying to work things out. The property's on the market. Don't foreclose, but we're trying to actively sell the home. All right, so the bottom line is the best time for agents to get involved is as early as possible because you can help them walk them through that process. And that's what you guys are the pros at. So.